We're going to preach in a remote place, in a remote community in Ghana, a place where most Ghanaians present here have never been, a place where most preachers in Ghana will never visit, because it's notable for darkness. What we know that gives us peace to go and tread where scorpions are is that we are confident of the presence of God. He said, for God was with him. Hallelujah. Now, when we were to go on this trip, because what happened was that the king of that community came publicly and submitted to me and said, okay, the kingdom now has been handed over to you. You are the spiritual director of the kingdom. So I accepted publicly. There was a follow-up to that acceptance. So in view of the fact that you have accepted, your first assignment will be to take us to the village and then rededicate the entire village to God. That will be your first assignment. So I had to leave Minnesota down to Accra. Then we flew from Accra to Sumangi in Bono. Then we went on 2-hour trip to Suma. And I know that the Ghanaians here have not been there. And then they told us the history of the place and how that they are a warrior people. And the altars, Dagon, the Dagon that have been serviced for many years in order to maintain that reputation. Fortunately for them, that the current king, fell at the cross of Jesus. So he said, come, let us fortify the stakes of Jesus in the territory. And I like that. So when we got there, we went into the throne room where the chiefs were seated. It was in that place I made a presentation that righteousness exalts a nation and sin is a reproach to any people. That if a people embrace righteousness, then all kinds of developments will begin to find expression. But if sin and idolatry is our stronghold, we will live in reproach. When after 50 years, you come back to this village, it will be looking worse than what it's looking like now. That was my message. I know the chiefs were not emotional, so I couldn't judge if my message was arriving at the right place. They were just you see, but I was not there by my own self. I was there on the authority of the king. So I was less concerned about how the elders were looking. I preached my message. And then after preaching the message, I asked them, do you agree that sin is a problem then? It's a problem. It's a problem. It's a community problem. And on the strength of the agreement, I began the dedication. When we finished the dedication, another king was coming to visit. So we went out of the throne room, went to the chieftaincy area where the king's throne is there. And then we are sitting there. And then this other king was coming. And they came with the full spiritual regalia.